Yo, what's up, man? We back. It's the check down. Week 10, you know what I'm saying? This week, we got injuries. We got players that you guys need to pick up immediately. And then, my most important segment, the stash of the week. This is the check down. Check it out. All right, man. Before we get started with the show, we gotta address all of the elephants in the room, man. In football, it comes to times where players get hurt. And unfortunately, that brings us up to the next segment, man. That's right. Week 10 injury reports, man. As you can see, that graveyard is getting full, man. Please welcome Jaden Daniels and Tucker Kraft. These guys are injured. They're not coming back. They don't have a return date on those tombstones. It's just emptiness. It's just an empty blank space filled with unalived individuals, man. And it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, but it's part of the game, right? It's what the game needs. It's what the game calls for, man. Injured reserve. And it's terrible, man. It's terrible that we have to go through this every single week. Week after week, there are injuries, right? And it's just like, wow, Tucker Kraft, for example. How do you get injured, sir? Like, I don't necessarily get it, but I do get it. It's football, right? But my man was going off, bro. Going off, just completely going nuts, bro. Then all of a sudden, boom, he gets hurt, man. Torn ACL, people. Went down with an ankle injury, man, and a torn ACL. Terrible, man. But, that makes way for the next person in line, right? Just because Tucker Kraft has checked out and gone over to the graveyard doesn't mean that your fantasy league is over, right? You might still have a chance. You probably can pull it out, right? But who knows, man, right? This is football. And in football, injuries happen, and you must replace those injured players with people who are not injured. Tucker Kraft, he's out of there. Goodbye. Next man up. And we're going to talk about that later in the show, about the next man up. But we can't just leave my boy Jaden Daniels out there to rot, right? Man, I've been hearing all types of crazy stuff, right, about Jaden Daniels. These Commanders fans are crazy, dude. I hear stuff like, oh, he'll be all right. He'll be able to play. He'll just be questionable because it's just, his non-throwing arm is injured. Okay, let's talk about it. His non-throwing arm is injured, yet if he gets hit in his non-throwing arm, it's going to tear his up. If somebody breezes by it or grabs it or yanks it the wrong way, it's going to tear it up. He's not going to be able to focus. He's not going to be able to throw the ball. Yeah, people say, oh, man, he has that dog in him, right? Yeah, he has that dog in him, but is he going to be able to do what he needs to do with that dog? I think not, bro. When you have a disc, like his elbow, his arm literally came out of the elbow socket, people. Let's talk about it. Came out of the elbow socket. And you guys think that my man has a chance of coming back? I don't get it. Please break it down for me. Break it down for me. I want to hear in the comments, man. If anybody can break it down how Jaden Daniels will be coming back from a dislocated elbow, let me know in the comments below, bro, and we'll have a discussion because I want to hear it. I want to hear it, man. Real talk. You know, it's crazy how these injuries come and then they go and the next man up. Marcus Mariota, man. Pick him up if you don't have him, man. He's pretty solid, I would say. But it's up to you, man. It depends on who you have on your bench or who's on your waiver wire. Would I pick up Marcus Mariota over J.J. McCarthy? Nah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't at all, man. But if you need more tips and more help, man, I got the person for you. Check it out. Football is money. Whether you're a diehard fan, fantasy manager, or just in it for the drama, we're here every week to bring you the action and analysis you crave. Plus, don't miss a beat. Follow Football is Money on all social platforms for extra updates and live game insights. Join the team, subscribe today, and let's make every game count on Football is Money. Y'all know what it is, man. Footballismoney.com. Over there, They Call Me Boss has the answers to the questions that y'all need. Like, for instance, the Marcus Mariota situation. Should you start him? Should you pick him up over J.J. McCarthy? Chime in on that podcast. Ask the questions. Parlays, fantasy lineups, over, unders. It doesn't matter. He has the scoop, bro. Footballsmoney.com. All right, man. Going on to the next segment of the show, right? So now it's the juicy part, man. We were talking about my boy Tucker Kraft going down, right? Tucker Kraft goes down. It's the next man up. That next man happens to be Luke Musgrave. Tight end number 1, right? Red zone usage is going up. His yards per carry before he was injured was insane, right? Absolutely insane. And people sleep on Luke Musgrave, but he is a titan amongst other titans in this league. And I feel like him having this opportunity to step up is only going to prove his worth, right? Let's talk about him. Luke Musgrave, you feel me? He's one of my favorite tight ends in the league right now because he's one of those sleeper type of tight ends. You know, he got injured this season, but he's trending toward a top 10 usage among tight ends, you know, in the coming weeks. With Tucker Kraft out, you know, Musgrave is back in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? He's averaging over 11 yards per catch, and the Packers are finally designing plays to feature him over the middle. And that's important. He's a big target. You cut him through the middle, he will be open, and you got a streaming tight end in your graphs. You feel me? Musgrave is a plug-and-play option for the rest of the year, especially in PPR formats. You feel me? Take heed to that, right? Again, man, we can say that Musgrave would be the best available waiver wire pickup this week as far as tight ends. Maybe. It depends on how that graveyard looks, right? No pun intended. You want to look at your bench. You want to look at the people out there on the waiver wire, then make a determination of why you want to pick up Luke Musgrave. Pick him up if you need him. You know what I mean? All right, man, moving on, dude. Next person on the list is my guy, Alec Pierce. Now, Alec Pierce slept on as well. You know, we're gonna talk about Alec Pierce being slept on. First of all, deep ball threat, man. I kind of got him up in the level of, and I know people are gonna judge me for this, right? But he can rival Tyreek Hill's speed, bro. Like, believe it or not, bro, he can rival it. Is he faster than Tyreek Hill? No, definitely not. He's compared to a cheetah. But does he get those routes in which he's wide open because his speed allows for separation? 100%, man. 100%. Alec Pierce, dude, he has an 87% snap share, man. That means on 87% of the plays out there, my man is out there going in. You feel me? like I said, deep ball threat, 15 plus yards per carry. My man is primed and ready and available to affect your fantasy lineups. Josh Downs, he was hurt for a minute, so Alec Pierce stepped up, and then Alec Pierce got hurt, and now he's back. You feel me? He's back, and I feel like everyone should take notice of this because he's one of those people that people are going to sleep on. The connection between Pierce and Gardner Daniel Jones is starting to click, with, defenses king on Michael Pittman Jr. and Josh Downs battling injuries. You feel me? Pierce is quietly emerging as the deep threat option. He's averaging 16.5 yards per catch, and his target share has doubled in the last 2 weeks. You got to think about that, right? The upside is like boom or bust flex option, you feel me, for week 10. But I feel like Pierce is your guy. I feel like that's the guy everyone should, pay attention to and lock into, because Indiana Jones is out there slinging it. Pause. You know what I'm saying? He's making plays to all of his wide receivers. When Jonathan Taylor struggles, Daniel Jones steps it up. Last week it was a tough week. I don't really know what happened. It's like the Denver and the Las Vegas game last night. I don't know what that was or why it was, bruh. I'm like, it just tears up everybody's parlay. You feel me? If you do DraftKings or if you do FanDuel, tears it up. Prize Picks tears it up, bro. That's a whole nother story, you feel me? I'm going to move on next to Colston Loveland. Man, I don't need to say much about this man. Y'all saw this man last week. Y'all saw him. Like, he's the reason why Chicago Bears won that game. Through contact into the end zone, my man went, bro, for the TD with like 30 seconds to go, I believe, bro. Colston Loveland is a must-be pickup. You got to pick him up. He gives me Sam Laporta vibes when, Sam Laporta first came to the league. Very, very reliable. You know what I'm saying? A reliable tight end is very rare, right? And with the struggles of Luther Butler and Rome Odunze I think that game he had a donut, dude. He had 0 points, bro. So you got to think about that, right? He's not really going to. The quarterback can't depend on this man. You feel me? And with that being said, enter Colston Loveland. You know what I'm saying? He's a red zone threat, snaps rising weekly, and he's a breakout tight end candidate. I don't know what else you need to see or what else you need to know. If you watch the game, you know why you should pick this man up. Stop playing with me. You feel me? Stop playing with me. You feel me? For those in keeper or dynasty formats, this kid is worth a long-term stash. You feel me? Loveland has the modern tight end build. Tall, athletic, fluid in space, and dominant in contested catch situations. You understand? He's already drawing comparisons from guys like Dalton Kincaid and Sam Laporta. You feel me? With the draft season, in the draft season, people overlook this guy. But look at him now. That's all I can say, man. Colston Loveland. Pick that man up immediately. You feel me? And moving forward, man, there's a lot of other people. But this person right here, I feel like, has to be the guy, the pickup of the week. If I was doing that segment. Maybe next week, but I'm not. J.J. McCarthy. He's been on my stash list like a long time ago. If you look at week 3, week 4, you will see this guy. And now it's time to enter and activate J.J. McCarthy. If you do not have him on your team, you need to go down to that waiver wire right now. Just get off of this video because I'll be talking about him for a while. Get off of this video and go to your waiver wire and pick this man up. You understand me? Because J.J. McCarthy is on the rise, you feel me? 20 plus fantasy points out of 2 of the 3 games he's played so far. He's been hurt, he's been banged up, but my guy has big upside potential. He has a rushing floor and he has a weekly upside. Perfect bye week streamer. If you got quarterbacks that are on bye weeks that you need to plug in somebody, J.J. McCarthy will be that guy. He has a good matchup this week, and I feel like he's in it to win it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're talking dynasty leagues and super flex, folks, this guy is the real deal. You feel me? He got poise, touch, and next level decision making that the NFL is noticing. Everyone who plays him, they try to like decipher what he's gonna do and when he's gonna do it. He's a very crafty quarterback, a very determined quarterback. He wants to be great. You could see it. He tries his best. And his receivers love him as well. And that's all you need from a quarterback right now. You know, you need someone that is dependable, that will put points on the board and will help you get into the fantasy playoffs. That is the only key. That is the only objective. That is why you play, is to get in the playoffs, man. There should be no other reason why you play this game rather than to get in the playoffs, man. You know? Playoffs and then the chip. That's how it goes in that order. You feel me? And that brings me to my boy. Now, controversial pick off the waiver wire, but I feel like he's very important because Drake May is over there just Mayday to dropping bombs, dog. Dropping bombs all over the field to his wide receivers. You feel me? And he's a target hog as of late. Demario Douglas is one of those guys who was a sleeper, I feel, and I really missed him because, you know, when Booty is hurt, and he is hurt, pause, that's his name, Booty, he got hurt or whatever, and now Demario Douglas' value and volume has skyrocketed, right? You know, he's a target hog, 6 to 9 targets per game, fam. If you don't have a flex option this week, my guy needs to be that main option. Do you understand? Because my guy is the man of the hour right now. Drake May doesn't have many receivers, right? He has Stephon Diggs, he had Booty, now he has Demario Douglas. And he does have others, don't get me wrong, but these guys are the main three. And when one goes down, that number 3 moves up to number 2. That number 2 moves up to number 1. We can all assume that Stephon Diggs was the number 1 and Keyshawn Booty was the number 2. So enter Demario Douglas in place of Booty. Start him, find him out there on your waiver wires, and start him this week. It's going to be a great week for my boy, Demario Douglas. You know what I mean? Moving forward, bro. I'm sorry I'm kind of rushing through this, but I got a lot of things to do, man. We're going to go straight to New York, and we're going to holler at Devin Singletary. See, a lot of people thought Tyrone Tracy would be that guy that would be the number 1 starter, but I kind of knew in my heart, I wasn't sure, but I knew in my heart that if Cam Scatterbo, a rookie, replaced this man, right, why in the world would they, when they have an opportunity to, you know, uplift one of their running backs, why would they uplift Tyrone Tracy? No, I thought to myself, man, it's going to be, you know, a committee. And then I watched a couple plays. Devin Singletary played way better than my guy. Let's be honest. Played way better than him. 18 or 20 touches and goal line work, bro. I mean, that's a lot of touches, bro. That's a lot of touches. You can't overlook that, right? You gotta focus on that and understand that. That means that this man is getting the most work, and he's doing the most with the work that he gets. You know what I'm saying? We can't say the same for our boy Tyrone Tracy Jr. now, can we? We can't say that Tyrone Tracy Jr. is someone that you can depend on, but you can depend on Devin Singletary to at least get you some TDs. You know what I'm saying? And if he doesn't give you some TDs, he's going to give you a couple of points by the yardage that he accumulates over the game. You know what I mean? So Devin Singletary, I feel like, will be one of those sleeper, you know, borderline stash plays of the week going forward. You know what I mean? So pick him up if he is on your waiver wire, which he should, because he's only available in 21% of leagues, you know, across Yahoo. As far as the other fantasy, like sleeper, I'm not sure. But if you play Yahoo Fantasy, my guy's still out there, and people are sleeping on him because his name. It's another thing, man, I got to tell you guys. Names. Stop worrying about the names of people, right? It doesn't matter what their names are. It matters what they can do with their opportunities. I'm going to say that one more time. Ignore the name. Look at the production that they do on the field. The name does not matter. Tyrone Tracy Jr. I mean, Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary doesn't have a ring to it, right? So it's like, never heard of that name. Watch what he does. You feel me? And while I'm talking about names and how you shouldn't look at them, that brings me to my favorite segment of the show, the stash of the week. Let's go. So, like I was saying, names. People care about names, but sometimes names don't matter. Enter the chat. Now, before I enter the chat with the name, I'm going to say that this man comes from a team that is not only desperate, not only fighting for any type of playoff hopes or aspirations, but they really want it bad, especially their quarterback, because his arm was snapped out of the elbow socket. I'm just saying, you know, he could have just fell down normally. Nah, he wanted to. He thought he was gonna brace the fall and with his arm get up and run in for the TD. Nah. Now, there's a lot of people over there, right? A lot of people you could pick up off the waiver wire, but this one guy is who I think everybody should pick up. Ladies and gentlemen, wait for the camera, Chris. Chris Rodriguez Jr. That's my stash of the week. Put him up. He was the most productive running back out there for the Washington Redskins. And, you know, unfortunately, you got Jacoby, what's his name? Jacoby not Brissett. Jacoby Merritt, that's his name. Jacoby Merritt, the starter. He's like injury prone. Let's be honest, bruh. My man is injury prone. And because of that, we can't trust him at all. We can't trust the injury prone guy who we don't know if he's going to get hurt or break his leg or get a concussion. But my guy Chris Rodriguez, when he was in the game, he was productive. I feel like sooner or later, when Merritt goes down, there's going to have to be someone to step up. Enter Chris Rodriguez Jr. You know what I mean? And that's real. Now, that's it, man. You know what I mean? That's the show for the week. Now, if you guys have any questions about the people that I have selected today, go ahead, you know, leave a chat, leave a comment. Let me know what you think, why you think it. Don't just talk. Be about it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for watching the Check Down, man. Don't forget to check it out. Check it out. Check it out.